Have you thought if AI is so powerful, why are most AI companies still unprofitable? AI is everywhere. The hype is massive right now. But here is something people are not talking about. Most AI companies are burning cash and actually losing money. From OpenAI to Midjourney, the technology looks really very powerful. But the real question is who is actually profitable? Right now, we are living through what I would call the AI gold rush. AI is everywhere. It's writing code, creating images, answering questions, solving complex problems. The most scary thing, it's even replacing jobs. Billions of dollars are flowing into AI startups. Valuations are exploding. And almost every company you hear about today is calling itself AI first. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Growth does not mean profit. Many AI companies are growing fast, revenue is going up, but at the same time, losses are also going up. Why? Because running AI is extremely expensive. Massive compute cost, cloud infrastructure, GPUs running 24 by 7. On top of that, users expect AI to be cheap or even free. And with competition everywhere, prices keep getting pushed down. So the more they grow, the more money they burn. When you look closely, most AI companies actually fall into two very different categories. Companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Perplexity, these companies are focused on scaling fast, raising billions, building massive models, and capturing market share. On the other side, you have lean or integrated players, companies like Midjourney, Google, which is using AI inside its ecosystem, and GitHub Copilot. These players either stay lean or use AI as a part of larger, which is already profitable business. This difference changes everything, and only one of these models has a clear path to profitability. To understand this better, let's start with the market leader, OpenAI. OpenAI was founded in 2015 by Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Greg Brockman, long before the current AI hype cycle. But everything changed in November 2022 with the launch of ChatGPT. In just 2 months, it became the fastest product in the history to reach 100 million active users. The kind of growth is almost unheard of. But the growth and headlines don't always tell the full business story. From a revenue standpoint, OpenAI looks incredibly strong. By 2025, it's generating over $20 billion in annual recurring revenue. That revenue comes from multiple sources consumers, enterprise customers, and API usage. Millions of users are actively paying. So, yes, the revenue is massive, but the revenue alone does not mean profit, right? Let's look at the other side of the story cost. For OpenAI, the economics are still very heavy. For roughly every dollar the company earns, it spends about $1.69. Those costs come from everywhere training massive model, running inference at scale, data center, top tier talent, and continuous research and development. Because of this, OpenAI is expected to remain loss making for several more years, possibly until 2029 or 2030. In other words, we can say OpenAI is essentially buying the future with today's money. What's the takeaway here? OpenAI is a category creator. It changed how the world thinks about AI, but it's not yet a fully sustainable business. And that does not mean OpenAI is failing. It simply means that running intelligence at a global scale is still incredibly expensive. The question is not whether AI will win or not. It's who can afford to wait long enough. So let's look at a very different kind of AI company, Midjourney. This is the outlier in the AI world. Midjourney was founded in 2022. It's fully bootstrapped, no venture capital, no massive fundraising round, and despite that, it's one of the few AI companies that's actually profitable. And the reason why it's paying attention to. How does Midjourney actually work as a business? First, it's subscription only. There is no free tier. Users pay from day one. Second, the company keeps tight control over cost. The team is small, around 100 employees only, no unnecessary scale. Because of that focus, Midjourney generated roughly $300 million revenue in 2024 and with projection of $500 million in 2025. Midjourney proves that AI can be profitable if you stay focused. What's the takeaway from Midjourney? Right now, it's the most efficient AI business in the market. This is what happens when product quality beats the hype. Major AI player, Anthropic. Anthropic was founded by former leaders from OpenAI, but from the very beginning, it took a very different approach. Instead of chasing consumer hype, Anthropic focused on enterprise customers and on building AI system with a strong emphasis on safety. This makes Anthropic a very different kind of AI business, and that choice changes both the risks and economics. When it comes to business model, Anthropic looks very different from most AI companies. Around 80% of Anthropic's revenue comes from enterprise customers. The business is heavily API driven, which means more predictable usage and higher margins than typical consumer AI products. By 2025, Anthropic is expected to reach roughly $9 billion in annual recurring revenue with a target to break even around 2028. In simple terms, we can say Anthropic chose boring enterprise money over flashy consumer hype. So, what's the takeaway with Anthropic? Major AI labs, Anthropic has one of the clearest path to profitability, not because it grows fastest, but because it chose the right customers and the right business model. Now, let's talk about Google. Because Google's AI strategy is fundamentally different. Unlike most AI companies, Google is not trying to build AI as a standalone business. Instead, AI is being deeply integrated across its existing ecosystem: search, ads, cloud, productivity tools, and now Gemini. That changes the economics completely. Here is how Google actually makes money from AI. Instead of selling AI on its own, Google embeds it everywhere into search, YouTube, cloud, and workspace. That means AI directly improves products that already generate billions in revenue. As a result, Google Cloud has seen strong year over year growth and AI becomes profitable through the ecosystem, not as a standalone product. Google does not need Gemini to win alone, it just needs AI to protect the empire. Another interesting player in this space is Perplexity. Perplexity positions itself as an AI powered search challenger. It's already generating around $200 million in annual recurring revenue and is valued at roughly $20 billion. The business model combines subscription and advertisement. But despite the growth, Perplexity is still unprofitable. But it's competing directly with Google's massive distribution power. In search, technology alone is not enough. Now let's look at GitHub Copilot, one of the clearest example of AI that enterprises are happy to pay for. Copilot is already generating over $2 billion in annual recurring revenue, and it's used by nearly 90% of Fortune 100 companies. Why does it work? Because the value is obvious. It directly improves developer productivity. It has a clear ROI and it's deeply integrated into Microsoft ecosystem. This is the AI solving a real business problem, not just showing off their intelligence. If we put everything side by side, a clear pattern starts to emerge. Companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Perplexity are still not profitable, at least not yet. On the other hand, Midjourney is profitable. Google's AI efforts are profitable through its ecosystem, and GitHub Copilot is very likely profitable as well. So far, only a few AI businesses have actually cracked profitability, and that leads to the bigger lesson about AI economics. So, what are the big lessons from all of this? First, AI is real. This is not a bubble like some past tech trends. The technology works and it's here to stay. Second, business models are still evolving. We are very early in figuring out how to turn intelligence into sustainable profit. Third, compute is biggest enemy. Training and running model is expensive and those costs don't magically disappear with scale. Fourth, enterprise pays better than consumers. Businesses pay for ROI. Consumers expect AI to be cheap or free. And finally, scale without cost control is dangerous. Growing fast does not fix bad economics. Sometimes it makes them worse actually. So here's the final thought. AI is not a bubble. The technology is real and it's transforming everything. But not every AI company will survive because in the end, the winners won't be the smartest model, they will be the smartest businesses. So, if you like honest business breakdowns, not hype, not headlines, but real economics behind technology, then this is exactly what Revenue Plate is about. Subscribe Revenue Plate if you want to understand who actually wins and why.